When we think of power, we usually think of money, right? We think of someone like Elon Musk sitting on a pile of $200 billion. But the source material we're looking at today argues there's a totally different kind of power out there, a more absolute kind.
So let's break this down. On one side, you've got Elon Musk. His power, it comes from cash. Piles of it. But on the other side, you've got this man, Ren Zhengfei, the founder of Huawei. And according to the source we're digging into, his power, it comes from something else. Something much, much scarier. His own army. And believe me, that difference in power leads to some terrifying consequences. Look, if Elon Musk messes up, what happens? The SEC comes knocking, he gets investigated, maybe fined. But our source makes this absolutely chilling claim about Ren Zhengfei. His power is so fused with the state that a mistake on his part, well, the consequences could ripple across a nation of 1.4 billion people. We're talking about a level of authority that's just completely unchecked.
So who is this guy? This is Ren Zhengfei, founder, CEO of Huawei. Now, if you do a quick search on him, you're going to find a very carefully constructed image. He's presented to the world as the simple man. And this whole myth, it's built on these stories of him being so humble. You'll see these photos of him hopping in a taxi to get to work. You'll hear these tales about how he eats in the company canteen, shoulder to shoulder with his employees. It's all designed to paint this picture of a down-to-earth, humble leader.
But the source material we're working from, it has just one word for that entire public image: jute. A complete and utter lie.
Okay, so let's get to the reality that our source lays out. Ren Zhengfei isn't just some tech CEO, no. He's a former engineer in the People's Liberation Army. And here's the bombshell claim from our source. Huawei wasn't founded to sell phones. It was supposedly founded for one single purpose: to be the eyes and ears for the Chinese government. To spy.
So what kind of car does a guy like this drive? You're probably picturing a Tesla, right? Or maybe some fancy German sedan? Wrong. He rolls in something called the Hongqi L5.
And the price tag on that thing? A cool $1.5 million. But honestly, the price, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, because you can't buy this car. It's not for sale. It's a gift. It's bestowed by the government, and only to the most loyal. This isn't just a car. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of absolute loyalty and state-given power. They say that when this thing moves through Beijing, the entire city just stops. And that brings us to the most critical point our source makes. You have to stop thinking of this man as a CEO. He's not a CEO, brother. He's a general. And if you're looking for proof, hard proof of that kind of power, this source points us to one single massive international incident. His daughter, Meng Wanzhou, who happens to be the CFO of Huawei, was arrested in Canada. Why? At the request of the United States, who accused her of being a spy.
So how did the general respond? Did he call a bunch of high-powered lawyers? Did he try to lobby the White House? No. The response was immediate, and it was brutal. Almost overnight, 2 foreign nationals were detained in China.
And the way our source lays it out, this wasn't politics, it wasn't diplomacy, it was a trade, a cold, hard transaction. Step 1, Ren's daughter is arrested. Step 2, 2 Canadians are thrown in a Chinese jail. Step 3, Ren's daughter is released. The message here, as our source interprets it, wasn't some polite request sent through diplomatic channels. The message was delivered through action, and it was an ultimatum. It was, release my daughter or your people will die. Think about it. Could Elon Musk do that? Could he get a country to arrest foreign citizens to get what he wants? Of course not. Because as the source argues, they're not even playing the same game. One is a shopkeeper, a brilliant one, sure, but still just a shopkeeper playing by the rules. The other is a king. He makes the rules. Okay, so let's zoom out now and see how this power plays out on a global scale. Because today, Huawei essentially controls the world's 5G, and this isn't just about making faster phones anymore. What this really means is that the invisible network that connects everything, and I mean everything, is being built with their technology. Your phone, yeah, but also your car, your smart fridge, your entire home. All of it runs through an infrastructure that this one man's company built and potentially controls. And the last piece of the puzzle our source gives us is this. In his office, right there in the nerve center of this global tech empire, there's a photo on the wall, a photo of Mao Zedong.
Our source frames this as the ultimate contradiction, right? A man who calls himself a communist, who's also the owner of a $100 billion enterprise.
And so this explainer, drawing from our source, has to leave you with a pretty terrifying question. Look, it's one thing when a shopkeeper gets rich, but what happens to us? What happens to our future when a king, when a general controls the very nervous system of our world?